We often paint a picture of retirement as this golden time, finally being able to do everything we never had time for before. Joining clubs, volunteering, traveling constantly, babysitting the grandkids, taking up every hobby under the sun, meeting friends for coffee every other hour. We imagine our calendars filling up faster than they did when we were working. And somehow, we think that's the sign of a good retirement. We think being constantly on the go means we're living life to the fullest. But there's a quiet, painful reality that many retirees face, often without even realizing it. This relentless pace, this need to fill every single minute, might not be the key to a long, happy, healthy life. In fact, staying too busy after retirement might be slowly working against the very well-being we hope to achieve. It's a surprising truth, isn't it? That the very thing we pursue, a packed, active schedule, could potentially be harmful. In this video, we're going to explore why this happens and uncover some simple shifts in perspective and habit that can make a world of difference to your health and happiness in these golden years. We'll look at how the pressure to stay constantly active can actually lead to stress, exhaustion, and even impact your physical and mental health in ways you might not expect. And you'll want to watch right to the end for something that might truly surprise you about what retirement should really be about. So, let's dive into why this constant state of busyness after retirement can be less beneficial than we think, and how it can subtly start to impact our health. The first thing many people don't realize is the sheer amount of stress that a packed schedule creates, even if the activities themselves are enjoyable. Think about your working life, deadlines, meetings, rushing from one thing to the next. We associate that kind of pace with stress. Right. Well, while retirement activities are different, the pace can sometimes feel just as demanding. Signing up for multiple committees, committing to daily volunteer work, trying to fit in gym classes, social lunches, family obligations, and personal errands all into a week can leave you feeling just as rushed and pressured as you did when you had a job. This constant feeling of being on the go or having too much to do triggers your body's stress response. Your adrenal glands release cortisol, the stress hormone. A little bit of cortisol now and then is normal and helps us deal with immediate challenges. But when you're constantly under pressure, even self-imposed pressure from a busy schedule, those cortisol levels can stay elevated for prolonged periods. Chronic high cortisol has been linked to a whole host of health problems. Particularly as we age, it can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to insomnia or restless nights. It can suppress your immune system, making you more susceptible to colds, flu, and other infections. High cortisol can also contribute to weight gain, especially around the middle, and can even affect blood sugar levels and blood pressure. It can also have a significant impact on your mental state, increasing feelings of anxiety, irritability, and even contributing to symptoms of depression. Many retirees feel this pressure to be constantly productive and active, partly because that's how they lived for decades. They might feel guilty sitting still, or worry they'll become boring or unproductive if they aren't filling their days with scheduled activities. This internal pressure, combined with potentially overcommitting to external demands, saying yes to every request, joining every group, creates a recipe for chronic stress. It's not just about the physical toll of rushing around. It's the mental burden of managing a complex schedule, worrying about being on time, and the feeling of never quite catching up or having a moment to just breathe. Another crucial area impacted by excessive busyness is sleep. As mentioned, stress hormone imbalances from a packed schedule can disrupt sleep. But beyond that, a constantly busy lifestyle might not allow for the necessary winding down time before bed. If you're rushing home from an evening meeting, then trying to cram in some chores or catch up on emails, your mind is still buzzing when you finally try to get to sleep. Quality sleep is absolutely vital for repair and regeneration in the body, especially as we get older. During sleep, our brains consolidate memories, our bodies repair tissues, and our immune systems do important work. Chronic sleep deprivation or poor quality sleep can exacerbate existing health conditions and increase the risk of developing new ones, including issues with cognitive function, cardiovascular health, and metabolic disorders. Sometimes, the busyness itself can become a way to avoid deeper issues or feelings. Having a packed schedule can feel like a distraction from loneliness, boredom, or the big existential questions that might arise after leaving the structure of a working life. But constantly being busy doesn't actually resolve these feelings. It just postpones them. This isn't to say all busyness is bad. Far from it. Engaged and purposeful activity is crucial for a fulfilling retirement. The key distinction is between purposeful, meaningful activity and frantic, overwhelming busyness. Purposeful activity is often driven by intrinsic motivation, aligns with your values, and leaves you feeling energized and fulfilled, even if tired. Frantic busyness is often driven by external pressures, a fear of inactivity, or habit, and leaves you feeling drained, stressed, and perhaps even resentful. It's the difference between tending your garden because you love it and rushing through gardening because you feel you have to finish it before your next commitment. Let's think about the physical side too. While staying active is essential, constant rushing around and having a non-stop schedule isn't the same as intentional exercise or mindful movement. You might be physically busy, running errands, attending events, but are you actually getting the kind of physical activity your body needs? Are you building strength, improving flexibility, or getting your heart rate up in a sustained, controlled way? Often, the busyness leads to grabbing quick, unhealthy meals on the go because there's no time to cook something nutritious. It can also mean skipping planned walks or exercise sessions because another commitment has popped up. Furthermore, the risk of injury can increase when you're constantly rushing and not paying attention to your body's signals, overdoing it physically because your schedule demands it, rather than listening to your body's need for rest, is counterproductive. You might push through fatigue or minor aches to get to the next event, potentially worsening small issues into bigger problems down the line. This relentless pace can prevent the body from adequately recovering, which is particularly important as we age, and recovery times naturally lengthen. Without sufficient rest and proper fuel, your body can't function at its best, leading to decreased energy levels despite being constantly active, impaired physical performance, and an increased risk of illness. So, the first layer of understanding is recognizing that a packed schedule doesn't automatically equal health or happiness. It's the nature of the activity and the pace at which you live that truly matter. Unchecked busyness, driven by a need to fill every moment or a fear of slowing down, can lead to chronic stress, sleep deprivation, poor nutritional habits, and a neglect of mindful physical activity and rest, all of which can significantly impact your well-being. It's about striking a balance, and that's something many of us need to consciously work on after retirement. It's a different mindset than the one we needed for our working lives, and it requires a different set of habits. Now that we've explored the foundational issues of stress, sleep, and the difference between meaningful activity and frantic busyness, let's move on to some other ways this constant rush can impact us and what we can do about it. Beyond the physical and immediate stress responses, staying overly busy can also subtly erode our mental and emotional well-being in other ways. One might think that a full social calendar means you're deeply connected and avoiding loneliness. And while social interaction is incredibly important, the quality of that interaction matters more than the quantity of scheduled events. If you're rushing from one group meeting to the next, or attending countless events out of obligation rather than genuine desire, are you truly connecting with people on a deeper level? Are you having meaningful conversations, sharing vulnerabilities, or simply scratching the surface in brief, hurried exchanges? This kind of superficial busyness can sometimes mask a deeper feeling of isolation. You might be surrounded by people, but still feel disconnected if you don't have time for genuine, heartfelt interactions with a few close friends or family members. True connection requires time, presence, and the ability to be fully engaged in the moment, when your mind is already racing ahead to the next appointment. It's hard to be truly present with the person in front of you. This can leave you feeling emotionally unfulfilled, even if your calendar looks impressively full. Prioritizing a few meaningful relationships and carving out dedicated time for them, without the pressure of having to rush off to the next thing, is far more nourishing for the soul than attending every single gathering you're invited to. Learning to say no to things that don't genuinely bring you joy or connection is a powerful tool for protecting your peace and fostering deeper relationships. Another aspect often overlooked is the loss of spontaneous moments and downtime. Retirement is supposed to offer freedom and flexibility, but a rigidly packed schedule can eliminate these entirely. Spontaneous moments, deciding on a whim to visit a park on a sunny afternoon, getting lost in a book for hours, simply sitting and watching the birds in your garden are the moments when we can truly relax, reflect, and recharge. They are also often when creativity sparks and when we feel most authentically ourselves. Free from external expectations, when every hour is accounted for, there's no room for serendipity, no space for quiet contemplation, and no opportunity to simply be without a scheduled activity. This lack of unstructured time can leave you feeling constantly on duty, even in retirement, preventing the deep relaxation that your mind and body need. Think about the activities you truly love and find fulfilling. Are you making enough time for them? Or are they being squeezed in between obligations? Perhaps you always wanted to paint, learn an instrument, write, or spend quiet afternoons fishing. If your schedule is too full of other people's demands or activities you feel you should do, these personal passions can fall by the wayside. Neglecting the things that truly nourish your spirit can lead to feelings of emptiness or regret. Despite being outwardly active, retirement should be a time for pursuing these personal joys, not for replicating the busy, obligation-driven schedule of your working life. Making time for these passions isn't selfish. It's essential for your happiness and sense of purpose. It's about prioritizing activities that align with your deepest interests and values, rather than just filling time. The mental toll of constant activity is also significant. Our brains need downtime to process information, consolidate memories, and simply rest. Being constantly stimulated, whether by social interactions, errands, or scheduled events, can lead to mental fatigue and difficulty focusing. You might find yourself feeling wired but tired, unable to truly relax even when you have a spare moment. This constant mental busyness can affect cognitive function over time, making it harder to concentrate, remember things, and make decisions, allowing for periods of quiet, unstructured time, whether it's mindful meditation, a gentle walk in nature without a specific destination, or simply sitting and doing nothing, is vital for cognitive health and emotional regulation. It gives your brain a chance to rest and reset, improving clarity and focus when you do engage in activities. It's also worth considering the pressure to appear busy or active in retirement. There's often a societal expectation that retirees should be constantly doing things, proving they aren't just sitting around. This can lead people to overcommit out of a fear of being seen as lazy or unproductive. But retirement isn't about proving your worth through a packed schedule. It's about finally having the freedom to design a life that serves you. It's about prioritizing well-being, meaningful connections, and personal fulfillment over external validation. Learning to be comfortable with unscheduled time, and understanding that rest and relaxation are not luxuries, but necessities, is a crucial part of a healthy retirement. It's about finding joy in the simple moments and appreciating the freedom that retirement can offer, rather than just transplanting the habits of busyness from one phase of life to another. Embracing the pace that feels right for you, rather than conforming to an imagined ideal of a busy retiree, is key. Now that we've explored several facets of how excessive busyness can impact your physical, mental, and emotional health, let's bring it all together and think about what a more balanced approach looks like in these valuable years. So, we've talked about how that seemingly desirable packed schedule in retirement can bring unexpected stress, disrupt precious sleep, lead to superficial connections, steal away spontaneous joys and personal passions, and exhaust your mental reserves. It's a lot to consider, isn't it? The painful reality is that while we were striving to fill our days with activity, we might have inadvertently been neglecting the very things that truly contribute to long-term health and happiness: sufficient rest, deep connection, meaningful engagement, and simple, quiet moments of being. It's a subtle shift, almost insidious, because on the surface, being busy looks like you're thriving. But below the surface, the constant pressure can be wearing you down. The good news. The encouraging message here is that it's never too late to adjust your sails. Retirement is a time of freedom and opportunity, and you have the power to redefine what busy means for you. It's not about becoming inactive. Far from it. It's about becoming intentionally active, prioritizing activities that genuinely bring you joy, purpose, and well-being, and balancing them with essential rest and downtime. It's about shifting from a mindset of needing to fill every minute to a mindset of needing to nourish your life. Think about scheduling white space in your calendar, deliberate time with no specific plans. This isn't wasted time. It's time for spontaneity, reflection, rest, or whatever your mind and body need in that moment. This could be an hour every afternoon to read, sit in the garden, or just daydream. It could be setting aside one day a week with absolutely no commitments. This white space allows for recovery from your planned activities and provides the fertile ground for inspiration and peace. Prioritize your sleep. This might mean setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and making sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. If your busy schedule is cutting into your sleep, it's a clear sign that something needs to change. Remember, sleep isn't a luxury. It's a fundamental pillar of health. Be selective about your commitments. It's okay to say no. You don't have to join every committee, attend every single social event, or take on every request for help. Learn to evaluate opportunities based on whether they genuinely align with your interests, values, and energy levels. Ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Does it align with how I want to spend my retirement? Does it leave me feeling energized or drained? Saying no to some things creates space for the right things. Focus on quality over quantity in your relationships. Instead of trying to see everyone briefly, schedule longer, more meaningful time with the people who truly matter to you. Have a quiet coffee chat, share a meal, or simply spend time together without distractions. These deeper connections are far more protective against loneliness and far more nourishing for your emotional well-being than a calendar full of brief encounters. Make time for personal passions and quiet pursuits. Whether it's a creative hobby, spending time in nature, reading, or simply enjoying quiet moments of reflection. These activities are vital for a sense of self and fulfillment outside of obligations to others. These are the activities that feed your soul and make retirement feel truly personal and rewarding. And importantly, be kind to yourself. There might be a period of adjustment as you shift from a lifetime of being busy to a more balanced pace. It's okay to feel a bit restless initially. Allow yourself the grace to explore what feels right. Retirement is your time. It's about living life at a pace that sustains and energizes you, not exhausts you. It's about finding joy in both activity and stillness, in connection and solitude, in giving and receiving. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness in these golden years. It's not about stopping living. It's about living more wisely, more intentionally, and more joyfully. It's about recognizing that rest is productive, downtime is valuable, and a full calendar isn't the only measure of a life well lived. The surprising thing, the thing we mentioned at the beginning, is that the truly revolutionary act in retirement might just be giving yourself permission to slow down, to say no, and to enjoy the simple, unscheduled moments. That permission is perhaps the greatest freedom retirement offers, and embracing it might just be the healthiest decision you can make. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you found yourself feeling too busy in retirement? What have you done to find a better balance? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content focused on living your best life at every age, with practical tips and encouraging messages for navigating these wonderful years. Thank you for watching. Live your best life at every age.